Hello students, today I will discuss with you helium neon laser. Helium neon laser, it is the first gas laser ever constructed in the world. Previously, there were only solid state lasers. So in 1961, the first gas laser was constructed, that was helium neon laser. It is a 4-level laser and it produces light in continuous wave mode. Now first of all, the construction of helium neon laser. As we know, for any laser we need 3 components. First is active medium. So here in helium neon laser, the active medium is a mixture of 2 inert gases. One is helium and other one is neon gas. And both gases are mixed in the ratio 10:1. That means we take 10 parts of helium and 1 part of neon gas. One thing more which you should remember is that neon atoms, they act as active centers. So active centers are those which provide electronic levels for lasing action. It means that laser light is produced by the transition between electronic levels of neon atoms. Second component is pumping device. So here in helium neon laser we use electrical pumping. As you know that in ruby and neodymium YAG laser, both were solid state lasers, we used optical pumping, but here in gas lasers we use electrical pumping. This is because in gas lasers the electronic levels, they are sharp as compared to solid state materials, in which the electronic levels were consisting of bands. Now there are electrodes, anode and cathode, which are connected to a high voltage power supply. You can see in this diagram. So when we switch on the power supply, a current passes through this gas mixture. Due to this, the ionization of helium gas take place and the electrons which are produced due to ionization, they accelerate and collide with the helium atoms which are there and excite them to the higher energy levels. As helium atoms, they are lighter in mass as compared to the neon atoms, and also they are larger in numbers, so they are easily excited to the higher energy levels by electron collisions. So the third component, it is optical resonator. Now optical resonator, it is required for laser amplification, light amplification, and this is achieved in helium neon laser by using these two mirrors M1 and M2. M1, it is fully reflecting and M2, it is partially reflecting. So as the photons, they move inside this active medium, they are reflected again and again by these mirrors M1 and M2, so that stimulated emission dominates and we get sustained laser light. Now the working of helium neon laser, which we can discuss by showing this energy level diagram. So it's a simple, you can easily understand. Here you can see that on the left side we have electronic levels of helium gas, and on the right side we have electronic levels of neon gas. So what happens when we do electrical pumping? The electrons which accelerates inside the active medium, they collide with the helium atoms, and due to that helium atoms they go to the excited states E2 dash and E3 dash. Both these excited levels, they are metastable states, so their lifespan is more. Therefore the helium atoms which remain in these two states, they collide with the neon atoms which are present in the mixture. So due to this collision, neon atoms, they also get excited to the levels E4 and E6. One thing you must notice, that the E3 dash level and E6 level both are almost of same energy, and similarly E2 dash and E4, they are also at the same energy level, they have same energies. Therefore after collision with the neon atoms, these helium neon atom collisions, the neon atoms, they move to the excited state E4 and E6. Now E4 and E6, these levels are also metastable states. So population inversion take place between E6 and E5, and we get a laser output of wavelength 3.30 micrometer. And also the transition between E6 and E3 levels, that also give or produce laser light of wavelength 6238 angstrom. And also the neon atoms which are present at E4 level, they also make a transition, and population inversion condition is achieved between E4 and E3, and we get another wavelength of laser light 1.15 micrometer. So in helium neon laser we get three different wavelengths of laser light. But commonly we use or we obtain this 6238 angstrom red light of helium neon laser. So we use some filters or mechanism so that we can absorb the other two wavelengths, and only one wavelength is produced by this laser. Now when the neon atoms, they reach E3, then they make a transition to E2 level by spontaneous emission, and E2 level is a metastable state. So to depopulate E2 level and to start again the whole procedure, we make the walls or the tube diameter thin. As you can see in this figure, that the diameter or cross section of this tube, it is small. That is taken so that the neon atoms which are in the E2 level, they just collide with the walls of this tube and they can go to the ground state E1. So this is the whole working of helium neon laser. Now that all what I have discussed with you, that I have written on these slides, that with the different steps. Step 1, ionization of gas, then transfer of energy, then resonance energy transfer, and the population inversion, due to which we get 3 different wavelengths of laser light, and at the last there is transition to the ground state. So output characteristics of helium neon laser, they are, as I've said, it works in continuous mode, and output power we can achieve between 10 milliwatt to 50 milliwatt, and we get red light of wavelength 6238 angstrom. So role of helium gas in this laser, it is to achieve the population inversion in neon atoms. This is done by collision of helium atoms, excited helium atoms with the neon atoms, and the discharge tube of helium neon laser is narrow so that the transitions of neon atom in E2 level to the ground state can be made possible. So that was all about helium neon laser. I hope you have understand this laser. Thank you all of you.